Professional cyclist Jordan Shleck had an impressive season in 2025, racking up multiple wins and impressive results on the international stage. Our very own Emmanuel Ndungu had a chat with the team Amani S, where he delved into Jordan's 2025 ambitions and reveals what makes him such a special rider.
So, yeah.
At the end of last year, I had a sit-down with Ugandan professional cyclist Jordan Shleck. He won several races across multiple disciplines in 2024 and had a strong campaign in the Lifetime Grand Prix Gravel Series. After another impressive year, we reflected on his season and his career as a whole.
It's a warm-up.
How did you get into cycling then? Was it from young? Did someone inspire you? What happened?
So I joined the cycling because it's a beautiful sport, you know, and what made me to join cycling, it was my parents. So my dad used to be a cyclist, and I was so inspired by him, seeing whatever he does, you know, and I was like, okay, I can do something like him, you know, even if I used to be a footballer. So
You played football? Yeah. I didn't even know that.
Yeah. A lot of people don't really know.
So from football to cycling, like two-time Olympic champion Remco Evenepoel, Jordan found his feet in cycling after he finished secondary school and is now one of the best cyclists in East Africa.
So what are some of your biggest achievements to date then?
You know, I'm making a living through sport right now, and I've won national championships back home. I've won a lot of races, you know, around Kenya, you know, Rwanda as well, and in Tanzania, so, and some of international races as well. Yeah.
Explain to us what the training week of a pro cyclist like yourself looks like. You know, how many kilometers are you doing? How many hours are you spending on the bike each week? Elaborate on that.
Yeah, if, you know, most of the times, it depends with the race I'm looking forward to. But the average, if I get back really on form, it's always like 23 to 25 hours, you know, since we're doing a lot of big races whereby you sit on the bike for like 5 to 6 hours. Even some crazy races, you sit on the bike like 10 hours. So, but the average is like 800 to 900K per week.
Cycling is an extremely demanding sport, both physically and mentally. Riders put up with hours of torture in both training and racing. So how does Jordan cope with the mental side of it?
You know, if you're really like going through that field, it really sometimes feels really rough. Sometimes you feel it's impossible. But the more, you know, the more you stay consistent and the more you train, the mind gets used to it. You become more better and better, and you learn how to deal up with it. But it's a place where you feel like it's none of like a comfort zone, you know. Personally, like, I enjoy suffering because I know the more I suffer, the more I can have more good things and the more I can put more big impacts into my career.
There are numerous disciplines of cycling: road, track, BMX, and even downhill mountain biking, to name a few. But there's one discipline that has gained significant traction around East Africa in recent years.
So why has there been such a big push for gravel racing in East Africa and not necessarily road cycling that maybe is a more popular one in the world?
So like, if you look around the road cycling, a lot of young kids used to be really so good, but like the racing opportunity, stepping up to the next level of getting a contract, it was kind of tricky. And like the late Sule and Michael, they thought of like bringing up a new discipline, you know, back in Africa, and it was gravel racing, whereby like you can race more individual as long as you have the sponsor, and you can always access, you know, more like professional racing than the road cycling, whereby you need to be in a team, and sometimes people don't really make it.
Is there any message that you could share to the young people who are trying to become like Jordan Shleck?
It's a good sport, you know. You can really make it, but you need to really like push yourself sometimes to the limit. You know, you feel like you don't want to, but you have to because of the goals you're having. And, you know, staying more disciplined is really more important. And, yeah, have a goal, sacrifice. And that's how things gonna happen. But without all that, sometimes it gets tricky, you know.
Jordan's already had a blistering start to his 2025 campaign, winning 3 out of 3 races, including the Loop SGR Tattoo City race earlier this month. He looks to finish top 5 in Gravel Locos this year, a big gravel race in the US, and wants to stamp his authority on the international scene even more. For Sporty Monday, I'm Emmanuel Ndungu.